Let's get it. All right. All right. Let me make sure everything is on good. Let me see if I'm on. It appears. Ashe. My brothers and my sisters, I greet you in our ancient Kemetic language, Hotep, which means peace, Amandala, which means power, power to the people. Uh, I welcome you, those of you who may be here the first time. My name is James Anyabwile Wilson. I'm the spiritual representative of the God in Action Ministries spiritual and cultural platform. We welcome you. We do not take your presence lightly. And I want to apologize to those of you. I put out a post earlier that was supposed to have been on at 12:30, but I had some technical difficulties. But I wanted to just come on. I know a lot of you wait preparing for Super Bowl, so maybe you watch this later on, or if you're coming on now, that's great too. I wanted to share this information with my brothers and my sisters. I want to thank many of you who have on last week tuned in and have taken the time out to share this with other people. I do not take that lightly. And those of you who also put thumbs up and made your comments, I really appreciate that. Like you're stepping up the game. I appreciate it. And I ask that you also do that with this. Each time I come on, each one reach one, each one teach one, that you would share with someone, let them know that we're on live, or share it through the day, share it through the week, so that others may be empowered, hopefully empowered, uplifted, encouraged, and motivated. If it's good enough for you, it should be good enough for somebody else. All right. I want to just I always share with people what I'm all about, my purpose. So you don't have any doubt or any confusion, or someone can tell you something different about my purpose. My purpose is to inform, not to convince. I just share information with you that I gather, and I share it with you as I understand it, and is always the truth. My purpose is to encourage you to be more of an analytical and critical thinker, where somebody just can't show you something or tell you something and it sounds deep and you go run with it without doing your own research. All right. And my purpose is to challenge you to open your mind to new and different ideas and information. It's a saying, if you don't know, you cannot grow. We have been taught one narrative, one way. When something does not line up with that narrative, people have the tendency to reject it because it doesn't line up. Open your mind to new information and ideas, because you may be receiving or getting the prayer you've been asking for, and also the information that you needed to maybe make some changes and improvements in your life. Mainly, my purpose to encourage you to focus and work on self-improvement, self-embetterment, so that you could be a better version of yourself. It's not looking at your neighbor, looking at other people, making other people your project that you can work on and point out what they need to do. You know, you call it constructive criticism. A lot of times it's destructive criticism. No, focus on self introspection so that you can be a better version of yourself. So that is my purpose, and I appreciate you being patient to allow me to share that with you. Those of you have seen the post, and the subject on today is keep your roots in the ground. I know that you like that song, keep your boots on the ground. Keep your boots on the ground. You got brothers doing that. Keep your boots on the ground. My message is keep your roots in the ground. Ashe. And you saw Marcus Garvey's quote. He said, a person, I'm paraphrasing, who does not know their history, their culture, is like a tree without roots. One thing about it, you know what holds up a tree? A ton, thousands of pounds, or a ton. It's the roots. The deeper it goes, it grabs on to whatever. That's what keeps it standing. And when there's no roots in the ground, that's when that tree will topple over. All right. And this is the same with our life. So keep your roots in the ground. I want to start off by just defining this, or answering this question. What is history? This is Black History Month, right? Though I don't just focus this on February, I like to share my information throughout the year when I'm inspired. What is history? History is a branch of knowledge that records and explains past events. History is that which stays around after the maker of that history passes on or transitions. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad, one of the head of the Nation of Islam, he says, history is best qualified to reward all research. Meaning, when you study history, I'm talking about your history, you will gain the knowledge and understanding you need to empower and elevate your life. I'm just laying my foundation. When you and I study our history or study African history, we can learn about what our ancestors had achieved and what they had accomplished. And in so doing, it will encourage us enough to believe in ourselves. If they were able to accomplish and achieve those great things and memorable things, we can too. Ashe, you believe that? Mm-hmm. So what I'm, in other words, is saying knowing your history empowers you. I don't see why I would have pushback in saying that. All right. Now, this is important to comprehend. The opposers or the oppressors of our Black history, they understand the power one gains when they delve into it, especially if their history encourages self-empowerment, self-improvement, self-betterment, Black unity. They know how powerful that is, and they know how dangerous that is to them. That's how they look at it. You know, have you noticed whenever we talk about our great history, other than when they give us permission to do it in February, they know that you're not going to be dropping no heavy stuff. It's going to be the civil rights movement, Martin Luther King, Rosa Parks sitting on the bus, not trying to downplay those achievements, those accomplishments, but they expect you to drop stuff like that year after year after year. But have you noticed every time we talk about our great history, our vast and rich history, you hear those rootless. This message is, the title is Keep Your Roots in the Ground. But every time we talk about it, you hear those rootless Black people who don't know who they are. And you also hear those white people that say, come on, leave that what? Black stuff alone. Come on, that's the past. Move on, dude, move on. That happened a long time ago, and it convinces a lot of you to move on and forget the past because it happened a long time ago. It didn't happen that long ago. All right? But when the Jews, nothing against Jews, when they talk about the Jewish Holocaust, how 6 million Jews were exterminated by, they say, Hitler, people never fixed their mouth to tell them to forget about it, to move on. But the Jews say, never forget, never again. So you don't fix your mouth and tell them to forget about the 6 million that were exterminated by Germany and Hitler, but we are told to forget the 500 million plus that have been executed and killed during the transatlantic slave trade and during the system of slavery. So instead of telling the Jews to move on, right, what people do, they shed crocodile tears. Then they'll force their unfortunate history or the events on the world without no pushback, without no complaint. Are you hearing me, brothers and sisters? There's a reason behind all this. The opposers or oppressors of Black history do not want us to be rooted in the knowledge of self, in the knowledge of our history, our vast, rich history, for fear of us being inspired by it, or for fear of us retaliating for what they have done against us. So they don't want us to really delve into this thing, because they know once we do, as a people, as an individual and as a people, we become a force to be reckoned with. Are you hearing me, brothers and sisters? As I said, they fear us retaliating against them after the 500 years of what they've done to us. That's why they'll do everything in their power, anything in their power, to prevent us from obtaining knowledge of our past, of sinking our roots in our history, trying to uproot us. But I'm coming to encourage you, brothers and sisters, keep your roots in the ground. Didn't say keep your boots on the ground. Keep your roots in the ground. They tried everything in their power to keep us from doing that. They try to convince our people, like they did it with Malcolm X when he was an 8-year-old child in school. They told him that black people didn't have a meaningful history because they never accomplished anything, or they never achieved anything of great, or they had never achieved anything that was significant. They told Malcolm that. And they tell us that when we go to their killing fields, which is the deducational system. That lie about we never accomplished anything, that we never achieved anything of significance in history, that lie was designed to discourage and kill the black man, the black woman, and the black child's desire to study and research their history, or even to aspire to be great. Keep your roots in the ground, brothers and sisters, because when people can uproot your roots and withhold knowledge of your great past from you, guess what, brothers and sisters? They gain the power to write a false history about you. When I say you, I'm talking about myself. The oppressors or the suppressors of black history, they taught our people that we were uncivilized because they wanted to rewrite history. They said we was uncivilized. We were animal-like. They found us in Africa swinging in trees like monkeys with bones in our noses. That's what they teach. They told us that we were cannibals, that we ate each other, that we was untamed, and that they were commissioned by their white God and their white Jesus to save us. First enslave us, to save us, to deliver us from our lostness. That's what they was teaching us. If you didn't know that, you're going to learn today. They even taught our people that we were cursed black by God. And that could be no further from the truth. Are you hearing me, brothers and sisters? This could be any further from the truth, because that is not what world history teaches. That is not what our African history teaches. That's not our history. That's his story. I talk about the oppressors and the opposers of black history. They are flip script. They are masters at flipping the script. They are masters at rewriting history to put in what they want to describe us, so that we will never be encouraged enough and have a desire to put our roots in our history, keep our roots in the ground to become great in life. During slavery, our people were even, they were sold and they was hung, they was whipped and brutalized. If we was even caught reading a book, read the autobiography of Frederick Douglass. And there's only countless other books that you can read. We were brutalized for even just reading a book, trying to put our roots in something. Are you hearing me? We were only made to believe what the slave masters told us about ourselves. Are you hearing me? And they're doing that today. Look at reality show TVs. Look at these thug movies on Tubi and all these other places. Look at these nothing but drug dealers on these in movies. Look at the rap music. And who you think controls all that stuff? They want us to only believe what they say about ourselves, and we are lending a hand in pushing that agenda. Because we have allowed them to take our roots out of the ground of our history, our true history. And like Marcus Garvey said in our post, a person who does not know their history, they don't know their culture, is a people without roots. Are you hearing me? The truth is, as they describe us as monkeys swinging in trees with bones in our noses, and we was uncivilized, and we were underdeveloped, so they had to come and civilize us. Like I said, that is so far from the truth. The truth is that the Neanderthals or the oppressors or suppressors of our history, they lived in the caves and hillsides of Europe. They lived in a billion below zero in the Caucasus Mountains. They crawled on all fours like dogs, eating raw, bloody meat because they didn't know how to cook with a fire. They didn't know what fire was at the time. They ate their dead. They went to the bathroom in their caves. They did number 1 and number 2, and they slept in that stuff. They didn't know how to be sanitary. They didn't have a language. They didn't know how to speak. They grunted to communicate. They flipped the script as if our African people were the uncivilized one. And I don't want you to get me wrong, brothers, sisters. This is not race bashing. No, don't you was taught that. This is not race bashing. This is world history. This is Black history. This is American history that they don't want you to know about. So I'm not race bashing. I'm just setting the record straight. Do your own research. Don't get caught up into your emotions. Do your own research. Because as the African revolutionary Messiah in the scripture says, and you shall know the what? Truth, and the truth will make you free. If I'm not telling the truth, why do you think the government and pseudo-European historiographers are hell-bent on twisting our history and deleting and taking our true history out of museums and out of schools? Why do you think they're hell-bent on discontinuing the 1619 Project and the critical race theory curriculum if what I'm saying is not true? I just felt the need to bring this out to counteract the opposers and the oppressors and suppressors of our history, the root snatchers of our history, all the lies they told about us, all the lies they convinced you of about yourself, your ancestors, and your history. Keep your roots in the ground. That's what I'm doing. I'm digging the soil so that you can go deeper in the ground and stay rooted. I remember a scripture, it says, you shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of waters who bring forth fruit during its season. The rivers of waters in the soil that you dig in is your history, your true history, your rich history, your vast history, your beautiful history. Don't allow these root snatchers to take you out of the ground of your beautiful history. If you see, this is key. When they suppress it and try to erase it or discourage you from studying it, if you are convinced that our people accomplish nothing great in life and that we don't have no meaningful history, there's no way that you and I can ever be encouraged enough or motivated enough to do anything significant in life. Peep this, brothers and sisters. If those who came before us, you talk about our history, our ancestors, if those who came before us and who look like us, if they haven't done anything of great importance in life, we have no examples to follow. We have no one of importance to teach about, learn about, teach our children about, to be encouraged by. You can't expect anybody to be something they have never read about or never seen. Am I making sense, brothers and sisters? What the oppressors of Black history did, it was clever. It convinced many of you that it don't matter. Because many of you to look at it as that black stuff. It convinced many of you just to go as far as civil rights movement and Martin Luther King, I had a dream speech and the bus boycott. That's how far they want you to go, and that's how far you go. And if anybody go deeper or delve deeper, you don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear all that. That gets me sad. That makes me depressed. That makes me mad. It's supposed to make you mad. M-A-D. If it gets you mad, make a difference. But you can hear about everybody else, sad stuff, depressed stuff, painful stuff, hurtful stuff, and you just cry, have crocodile tears and share. Did you hear about so-and-so? Did you hear about so-and-so? Then when you talk about us, I don't want to hear that stuff. If it don't apply, let it fly. But don't let it fly too fast, brothers and sisters. So they make us believe, they're clever. They make you believe that you have no significant history. You have no history. Nothing to talk about. Nothing to pass on, nothing to brag about. So what they have done, what they do, they start inoculating us, our mind, our psyche, with false information about how the Neanderthal Caucasoids, how they were great, how much they have accomplished, how much they have achieved in life. They say you haven't, but we're going to show you the people that look like us that have. We're going to show you the people that we honor. We're going to show you the people that we admire. We're going to show you the people that we praise. We're going to inculcate that in your brain. We're going to mandate you to go to our educational system, our killing fields, to learn this stuff. So we put this in your head about our people, about our Caucasoid heroes and sheroes, so that you can look up to with stars in your eyes, but never look up to your own people. Are you hearing me, brothers and sisters? So they teach you and they force you to learn this. It have nothing to do with really living. They force your children to learn this about the founding fathers. George Washington, Andrew Jackson, Thomas Jefferson, and countless other founding fathers of America, who most of them had black slaves and had babies by the black women and their little girls, underage girls. When Thomas Jefferson, so-called founding father, wrote the Declaration of Independence, which is a beautiful document, it says, "We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men, It wasn't talking about us, but they didn't look at us as people, as men or women. They looked at us as animals. That all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their creator, not another person, by their creator, with certain unalienable rights. That among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. When this was written, we were still slaves. We were still someone animals working in the fields. So it wasn't written for us. That was a beautiful document. But the person who wrote this, who did I say it was? Thomas Jefferson. As he was writing this, he had 125 black slaves. What I'm saying, they will convince you that you have no significant history, you have no heroes to look up to, but they give you theirs, the ones they admire and they honor and they look up to, and make you love them, regardless of what their character was like, regardless of what they've done to our people. Not only have they poisoned our minds with lies about their so-called great founding fathers of America, they also inoculated our minds as well as our children with images of their superheroes. Superheroes, all these superheroes and sheroes who have all this great power, but none of them look like us. None of them look like our children. Keep your roots in the ground, brothers and sisters. This is why I spend my time encouraging you to dig up and unearth the truth about our history, our true history. I like what our master teacher once said, our brother Anthony Browder. He called himself a memory recovery specialist. His mission, like I'm saying mine, is to restore the memory of our beautiful history and our people. Because some of us have been hit in the head and we got dementia and amnesia when it comes to our history. When it comes to our accomplishments and our achievements. I ain't just talking about in the 1960s, the civil rights. That's what you just stop there. No. Our history don't have a date to it. It goes so far back, they don't even have a date for it. That's how long we've been here. We've been here before any other race have been seen on earth. Facts over feeling, brothers and sisters. The reason why I strive to be to restore your memory when it comes to your history, because I want you to learn more about your heroes and your sheroes so that you can be inspired to be someone great in life and someone powerful in life. Yes, sir. As we study history to look at what others have done, I want you to leave something significant so that after you leave this earth, that people will continue to talk about what you have done to elevate, to empower, to uplift your race of people. All people, but black people in particular. First, one person to love everybody. I didn't say we didn't have to. Read the book that you love. When Jesus was told, according to the book, he says, when you go out on your mission to elevate, to uplift the people, go to the house of Israel first. That's where he come from, according to the book. Don't go to the Gentiles. Don't go to the other people. Go to your people first. And then when Jesus was about to leave the scene, he gave his disciples, according to the story, the same mission. Don't go to the Gentiles, don't go to the other people, go to the house of Israel first. Was he a hater of other people? Did he not love other people? No. Jesus was a nationalist. He went to his people first. And when you put your roots in the ground, you put your roots in things that's going to benefit us first, empower us first, uplift us first, teach us first, work for us first, something that we can have that'll be advantageous to us first. You got your roots in all this other stuff that have nothing to do about our people, have nothing to do about you, have nothing. All this political stuff going on, all this stuff about what's her name, Gorilla, about she ain't taking care of her family like she have to. She was on her grind. She made a way for herself. She don't have to do anything. And that's what Negroes do. They want to sit back and wait for a handout. And that's what we have done when it comes to Black people. We sit back, wait for a handout for somebody else to do for us what we can learn to do for ourselves. So we become beggars, not giants, not powerful men and women, not people who's able to stand on their own and unify. We sit back and wait for the slave masters to feed us, to clothe us. We march for it. We protest for it. What about getting our own? You got to get your roots back in the ground and keep it there, y'all. Are you hearing me, brothers and sisters? In the book of the Hosea, I'm coming to my close. This book was written by Maulana Karenga, the gentleman who have put together the Kwanzaa holiday. This is a compilation of ancient African scriptures, which is 3,000 to 4,000 years older than the New Testament and the Old Testament Bible. I'm not comparing what's better. I'm telling you that this was here first. It says, do great things which will be remembered long after you. Protesting against ICE. That's what you want people to remember you for. Protesting for immigrant rights. I have nothing against them. I'm just trying to make a point. Protesting because Trump is making decisions. Protesting because the Democrats didn't stand up for you. Protesting because this person didn't give you a job in their business establishment. That's what you want to be remembered for. Brothers and sisters, keep your roots in the ground. And I have to bring some smoke to the church, to the Black church, to those unrooted Black church leaders. Unrooted. A lot of them are afraid to preach and teach Black history, Black liberation theology. We're talking about our true history. They're afraid to do it to counteract the opposers and the suppressors of our history. They're afraid to counteract it, counteract those lies. Why? Because they fear the pushback. The pushback they'll get from white people, pushback they even get from those weak, neutralized, unrooted Black people. Oh, yeah. They fear that they're going to mess up their bottom line if they get real. They give you truth that will set your mind free. But it'll teach you to keep you stuck as a begging slave, waiting on Jesus and God to do everything for you. Didn't the Bible says, according to the book, I gave you power. Didn't the book say, Jesus speaking, according to the book, those things I have done, greater things will you do. But you got to be sitting around waiting for somebody to do. And these preachers, these buck dancing, neutralized, unrooted Negro peons are afraid or the pushback with teaching you something that's going to set you free. They know that this kind of preaching and teaching gets those who are against our history, those who are against Black elevation, it gets them nervous. It gets those kind of people uncomfortable. So that's why these unrooted Black preachers, I'm not bashing, I'm just exposing stuff. I'm not beating them down. I used to be one of them. Ordained preacher. Licensed and ordained. What they do, they afraid because they're afraid of the pushback. That's what they continue to teach our people about sowing a seed to buy a blessing from God. That's what you get. You know it. The biggest churches out here, give this to God and God will give you something back. A lottery. They teach you about buying a blessing, or they'll teach you history. Oh yeah, a lot of that. But about those whitewashed Hebrews, Greeks, and Roman characters in the Bible. You know more about them than you know about yourself. You got your roots in the ground, roots in the history of those biblical characters, how they ate, how they dressed, where they lived, and how they moved, how God does. You got more history about them. You quote it, regurgitate it, debate it, study it, go to college and spend thousands to get a degree in it, but know nothing about yourself. But these preachers teach you that history, but nothing about yourself. As if God never worked through Black people in any profound spiritual way. Shame with you. You unrooted, neutralized, Negro-pean spiritual church preacher. If it don't apply, let it fly. But too many of you are on that list. Our mission and job is supposed to keep our roots in the ground and our people roots in the ground of their history. Because as Marcus Garvey once he said, a person who does not know their history, a person who does not know their culture, a person who does not know their past is like a tree without roots. Anything could come and topple you over. And topple me over. God don't want us always looking at other people in the scriptures with stars in our eyes who don't look like us. They don't portray them as us. We talk about, ooh, wow, look what they can do. Ooh, wow, look what they have done. Ooh, wow, God has really worked through them. God don't want that. Always oohing out about somebody else, but never yourself. Same thing with the school system. They can make you ooh and ah about everybody, but nothing about yourself. We got great people who have sacrificed their lives for Black liberation, who have sacrificed their lives to fight against racist oppressive forces. They were anointed by God to do that work. Why you don't want to talk about that? Woo, God really worked through them. Our Malcolms and Martins and Garveys and Elijah Muhammad's and Gabriel Prosser's and Nat Turner's and Denmark Vesey's and Mary McLeod Bethune's and Harriet Tubman's and the Sojourner Truths and all these other great men and women and even children. I want to encourage you to keep your boots, your roots in the ground. Yeah, keep your boots on the ground too. Stand firm on what you believe in. Stand firm on the truth. So yeah, keep your boots on the ground. I encourage you to do some serious research, brothers and sisters. Some serious studying. A few minutes out of the day, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever. Whatever your attention span can handle. Research our history. Not just to post on Facebook in the month of February. Yeah, I know those social media so-called revolutionaries. I remember when I was teaching truth. I still teach truth, especially when it came to our history. I had people who was so-called follow me tell me I can no longer rock with you. I got to distance myself from you. Why, brother? Why, sister? Because of the things you say. How you saying it. I said, well, this is true. I said, am I telling lies? Am I telling the truth? They say, no, you're not lying. It's just the stuff that you're saying. So you're going to distance yourself, because I'm telling the truth. But on February, you want to post stuff as if you're really down with the movement. The question is, what are you connected to? That's elevating our people, teaching our people, empowering our people, motivating our people. What are you connected to? I see you. Oh, I don't like it. Look at his attitude. No, it's confidence, baby. Confidence. I'm going to strive as long as I can to encourage you to keep your roots in the ground, to learn more about where you come from. This is where I get my confidence and strength from. And I'm still trying to grow so I can be fearless. It takes a lot growing to get to that point. Especially when you feel like you're standing by yourself. Because if I would go missing, ain't nobody going to be looking for my butt. Nobody going to stand with me. So I pray and study for that confidence and fearlessness. If I have to go out, go alone. So I want to keep you rooted in your history, brothers and sisters. I want to keep you rooted in your history to where it tells you where you come from. You come from a bloodline, brothers and sisters, of royalty. You come from a bloodline of strength, power, wisdom, and greatness. Now you need to teach your children this. They're learning everything else that's self-destructive. Look at them. When I say children, I'm speaking about our children. Our Black children, a lot of them are lost. A lot of them are unrooted. My hope is that you begin to seriously study and research our history so that you too can make history and leave a great legacy for others to follow. But the legacy we should strive to leave is not a legacy of being a liar. What about James on that Weaver? Man, that nigga was a liar. Now, I ain't about leaving a legacy of being a liar or a thief or a hoe or a thug. Not a legacy, leave a legacy of being an addict or alcoholic or weed head, angry, violent, disrespectful, unruly, or a failure. Or don't even leave a legacy of being an opposer of Black history or Blackness. You got Black folk like that. I told you I've come across them. I've dealt with them. They fake it. In the ancient African scriptures found in the Hosea, the book of Kheti, Khiti, Kheti, section 2, it says, follow in the footsteps of your ancestors. For the mind is trained through knowledge. Behold, their words endure in books. Open and read them and follow their wise counsel. In order to do that, you have to keep your roots in the ground of your history, our accomplishments, our achievements, the past and the present, and keep the roots in your accomplishments and your achievements so that your children can see what you're really about. If mama and daddy or uncle, auntie, grandma, grandpa got their boots on the ground and their roots in the ground. Are you hearing me, brothers and sisters? So I appreciate you. I know that you waiting, a lot of you waiting for the Super Bowl. You should have got some wings and pizza and sat down and got this before 6 o'clock for the Super Bowl to watch your heroes. I just wanted to give you some information so that you can get just excited when it comes to your heroes and sheroes of the past and present. Are you hearing me, brothers and sisters? I thank you for listening. And those of you who like to continue to help us, there's information. Where's the information at? I see Brother Ty Beatty in the house, Hotep King. I know I came on. Oh, Queen Wilson, Khalitha, Kali, my queen, Queen Amari. Ashe, I see some names. I'll probably see other ones if you come in later. I know I came in late at a different time. I know your time is valuable. You can't just shift when I want you to shift. But I just hope that you share this, get something out of it. If you agree with some things or disagree, leave a comment. I welcome it. I welcome the conversation. If you feel anything I said was not true, I can give you facts. I study. And those who don't study and got something to say negative, you can tell that you haven't studied. You're just being emotional. And that's okay too. Leave your comments. All right. Let me see. Our information at the bottom of the screen if you'd like to help us out. Cash App, $GIAM 20. PayPal, paypal.me/HOTEP 2. You can help us continue our work. I ask that you please share. You did a great job last week, shared and liked. Appreciate that very much. If you don't have to give, I appreciate you supporting coming on. You can't pay for that. I appreciate that very, very much. If you'd like to just give, probably give something to give your, buy your brother a water, or a cup of coffee, or a donut, or a bagel, this stuff. I really don't, so you can do that too. Just to say, hey, brother, you ain't worth this, but I buy you a cup of coffee. Anyway, I love you much. Appreciate you. Do not take you lightly. Pray for your brother as I pray for you. Pray for my family as I pray for yours. And we'll see each other next time. Have a beautiful, beautiful day. And enjoy the Super Bowl if you're going to watch it. And I greet you, or I leave out of here the same way I came in with Hotep, which means peace. Amandala, which means power. Power to the people. Stay up. Keep your roots in the ground. Hotep.